Hi everyone, welcome to this tutorial on how to create a Google Classroom and add your class roster. When you first begin using Google Classroom, the first thing you need to do is navigate to the Google Classroom homepage. You can do this in two ways. You can go to your waffle, which is in the top right-hand corner of your Google homepage. You can click on your waffle and choose the classroom icon. Another way that you can go to Google Classroom is to go into your search bar and type classroom.google.com. Either of these ways will take you to the initial Google Classroom homepage. If you've used Google Classroom before, any classes that you have already created will be here found on your Google homepage. And you can see here that I have already created some classes so far for this year. Most likely, if you're watching this tutorial, your Google Classroom homepage will be empty and you will need to create a new class. To do this, in the upper right-hand corner, you will find a plus sign. The plus sign is the place where we can join a class that has already been created by another teacher, or we can add a class for ourselves to invite others to join. We are going to click on the plus sign today, and we are going to create a class. In the Create a Class menu, there are several options that you can use to differentiate which classes you have. You can give your class a name, which is required. So for today's purposes, we're going to say Google Classroom Tutorial. If you had several sections of the same class, you could give your class a section number. If you are teaching several different subjects that you intend to have different classrooms for each subject, you can label it by subject. Or if you have different rooms in your building that you wish to let people know where your class is physically located, you can also enter this information. As you can tell from my web page in the background, I have all my different grade 5 French classrooms sectioned by the name of the teacher who owns the homeroom. Once you've entered all the information that you need to create your classroom, you're simply going to click on the Create button. Google will take a few minutes to finalize the process of creating your classroom, and it will begin a brand new classroom for you. Initially, Google Classroom will give you a random theme as the topper to your classroom. It is quite handy, it is quite smart. It took the word tutorial and assumed that I'm doing something education related, and so it has a backpack and a pen. If you wish to change this and make it more specific to your particular topic or the main theme of your classroom, you may click on Select Theme, which will take us to a gallery where there are several different options. We have many general photos. We have things that are themed by English and history, math and science, arts, sports, and various other themes. For today's purposes, I'm just going to pick a general technology themed photo, and I'm going to choose Select Theme. This is going to change the top photo at the top of my classroom, which will more accurately represent the type of information, the type of class that I'm teaching. Underneath the title of your classroom, you will find something that's called the class code. There are two ways that you can invite students or join students to your classroom. One would be by displaying or sharing this code with your students, either having them have laptops in front of them and putting this code up on your smartboard so that they can enter it into their laptop immediately while they are signing up to Google Classroom, or by having them record it to join your classroom on their own time in their own home. Another way that you can add students to your classroom, and this is my preferred method, is to go under the tab called People. In People, you have two options. You can add teachers. So if you were co-teaching a class with another teacher, you could invite that teacher to be a collaborator in your Google Classroom as well. Or you can add students, and they will have the student version of your Google Classroom. With our NLESD school board, when we invite students, we can simply type their name or email, and they will appear in a list that we can select. I urge you to be cautious. If there are any students who have the same first initial and last name, they are differentiated simply by a number. So it's very important that you know your students' Google email address that they use with the NLESD school board, because sometimes it's just a slight number that's the difference between your student here at Riverside or a student anywhere else in our province. Obviously, I'm not going to add students to this class, so I'm going to use two teachers to add as student examples. As soon as I start typing a name, Google will start to populate some choices for me. Again, making sure that I pick the exact person that I am looking for by knowing the address ahead of time. Once you have added all the names of the students that you wish to have in your classroom, you click on the Invite button. You now see that both Glenda and Charlene have been invited into my tutorial classroom. They have not accepted yet as their names are still gray. Once they receive my invitation by email and click on the Join button that's located inside their email, their names will become black on my side of the Google Classroom screen, and then I will have many more options as to how I can interact with them. I can select any amount of students from 1 to all, and I can perform group actions where I can email the entire class, email 4 to 5 students who are working on a project together, or email just a single student. I can also remove any students who may have moved out of my classroom. So this is our tutorial on how to begin your Google Classroom and add all your students. If you would like further information for Google Classroom, please check out the rest of the videos in this playlist.